That's Norma's TV show. With Norma Mulbranch, where facts of life are exposed. Debates include politics, education, mental health, religion, and social. That's Norma's TV show.
André Joseph Ministries, CMS Band, invité communauté haïtienne samedi 20 août 2022 de 6h à 10h du soir dans Church of God, 627 Remsen Avenue, Brooklyn. Fundraising album release dinner avec André Joseph, CMS Band, performance live. Invité spécial, l'image Pierre, Magali Joseph, Rossini Deronette, Jean-Roland Nicolas, Peterson Jean-Jacques, Penel Saint-Jean. Théâtre et déclamation de poèmes avec Edson Dossou. Admission $65. Good food, drink et music inclus dans $65 ça. Vin supporter artiste communauté haïtienne André Joseph. Belle fundraising ça pour lui capable sortir nouveau album. Ça samedi 20 août de 6h à 10h du soir. Church of God, 627 Remsen Avenue, dans Brooklyn. Fundraising album release dinner avec André Joseph, CIMS Band, performance live. Sponsor Venus Restaurant, Église Christ et Montberger, Évangile sans parti pris et Mama's Cremas. Infoline 917 341 0700.
Merci, ma vie, merci papa. There's a name that can silence every fear. There's a love that embraces the heartache, the pain, and the tears. Through my faith and my doubting, I know one thing for sure. His word is unfailing, His promise secure. To the right side of Him, everything will be alright. The whole world is in His hands. The whole world is in His hands. In the darkness, in the trials, He's faithful and He's true. The whole world is in His hands. He told the right start again. Oh, oh, oh. Everything will be alright. Oh, oh, oh. Yeah. Father, you say everything is gonna be alright. Well, the circumstances say I will last through tonight. I need your word to hold me down, need you to pull me through. I need a miracle, a breakthrough, I need you. They say you hold the whole universe in your hands, but my world's falling apart like it is made of sand. Am I small enough to slip through the cracks? Can you take my broken pieces and put them back? Give me faith to believe you are on my side. Open my eyes to see you working in my life. Let the past remind me you never fail. Tell my soul it is well. To the right start again. Everything will be alright. The whole world is in His hands. The whole world is in His hands. In the darkness, in the trials, He's faithful and He's true. Your whole world in His hands. To the right start again. Everything, oh, oh, oh. Everything will be alright. Oh, oh, oh. Hey. To the right start again. Oh, oh, oh. Tout bagay pa everything will be alright. Oh, oh, oh. To the right start again. Padre, te confieso a corazón abierto que todo es muy incierto en este desierto. Mi vulnerabilidad está al descubierto. Siento que mi barca está muy lejos de su puerto. ¿Por qué será que ya no sale el sol en mis días? ¿Por qué mis noches son tan frías? ¿Por qué será que siento que me falta algo? ¿Por qué este camino que se siente tan largo? Sé que estás sobrando aunque no te sienta. Sé que estás sobrando aunque no te vea. Sé que voy a salir de esta odisea. Sé que voy a ganar esta pelea. Sé que va a cesar esta marea temporaria. Que en ti yo viviré una vida extraordinaria. Que aunque no pueda entender, me consuela saber que yo sé que todo va a estar bien. Everything will be alright. The whole world is in His hands. The whole world is in His hands. In the darkness, in the trials, He's faithful and He's true. Your whole world in His hands.
That's Norma's TV show.
Nous allons entrer dans le salon la caillou, encore, ou dans chambre, quelque soit pour tout dire, nous marchons nous. Ok, nous disons merci parce que vous acceptez nous pour garder la caillou aujourd'hui. Eh bien, je viens à faire chose plus en anglais, mais la pété créole la donne pour pas comprendre. Nous gagnons dans le studio, nous, aujourd'hui, un politicien qui est très important. Ok, et nous connaissons que nous tous connaissons, c'est pas pour c'est un étranger lié pour nous, c'est une famille liée pour nous, parce que c'est une dans nous. For our English speaking people, we have here in our studio today the Democratic politician, legislator Gary Solages. And he's serving his third term in the Nassau County Legislature. And we have him today because he's running for Congress. And it is a pleasure and an honor to receive legislator Gary Solages. Welcome to that show.
Thank you very much. This is my first time here. Phenomenal woman. You are a positive contribution to our community, to our Haitian American community, and I really am honored to be here this morning with you. We have many important things to talk about. There's an important election coming up, August 23rd. The first time there's an election in August in New York. And we have the opportunity to elect the first Haitian American to Congress to represent us in Washington, D.C. In Washington, D.C., there are very important rooms where very important decisions are being made. And I want my community to have one of their own, someone who thinks like them and someone who cares about the same values in that room to make sure that those decisions are made in their favor. So I served you for 10 years as a county legislator.
Since 2012.
Since 2012. And this is a public servant, just serving people, asking people for their support so that I could in turn help them with in many ways. And now I'm running for office for a higher position, that is to be a congressman to represent our community in Washington, D.C. And the election is very soon, August 23rd. And I'm asking everyone who lives in Nassau County, specifically Baldwin, Uniondale, Roosevelt, Freeport, Lakeview, Elmont, Valley Stream, Inwood, Lakeview, all these communities that we know that we have friends where we see a lot of Haitian Americans. There's one side shy of Haitian. I'm asking for your support. Please come out to vote. I know that it's hot, but voting is very, very important because as we see, many people are trying to take away our rights, and with the inflation and the rising cost of living, and other issues that are happening, for example, health, public safety, business, we need someone like me who is a champion, an advocate, a fighter, someone who's going to deliver and do what is best for our community.
Okay, but I have to ask you this question. What have you accomplished? You feel that you have accomplished for the community?
Absolutely. The list of what I have accomplished is so long that we would be here the entire day. I'm the only Nassau County legislator that has an office in this community that I leave my door open to help people. And I have helped thousands and thousands of people with constituent concerns, whether it was getting a visa or passport, or whether it was helping with your business, or helping your child in school because they accuse your child of doing something in school, or getting them the course or the education they need. But let's look at the visible accomplishments I've done. This studio is right next to Hook Creek Road right here in Valley Street. That road was in disrepair for over 20 years. People thought it was impossible to get it done. And nothing is impossible if you have God helping you. Yes. And so we totally redesigned the road and made it a safe road. I could give you other accomplishments. UBS Arena. We have a beautiful arena here in Elmont, a world-class arena, where now also has created jobs for the community. Many people have gained jobs from that community, from that project. I only supported that project on the condition They create jobs and careers for our community. The 5th precinct, police precinct, Mangano, a politician who was accused of criminal actions and is now serving a federal sentence, closed our police precincts. And you know, in Nassau County, we pay a very high property taxes. And to not have the basic public service of public safety was a disgrace and an injustice. And I stood up and we made sure that we reopened that precinct. During that time, there were rich communities in Nassau County like Bethpage that pays even more than we do taxes, and they did not have a precinct. So in addition, when many people were concerned that the police were doing things that they shouldn't have been doing, not all, but some, I was able to get body cameras on our police officers to protect our the young people, and also to protect the police officers. I did that because 8 years ago, there was a young man named Kyle in Westbury, and it was caught on video, a police officer assaulting him. And of course, all the police officers went to trial, and the judge that received donations from the PBA, didn't convict the man. And I said that's an injustice. I want to make sure that people are safe, that never happens again. And so it took me 8 years, and I worked very closely with some other politicians, and we got it done. We got body cameras on police officers, so that now everything that happens between a police officer and a citizen is recorded. It's very difficult to do. I like to sleep, but God has blessed me with a lot of energy, and we need an elected official that has a lot of energy so that he can talk to everyone. I'm looking forward to representing everyone. We all deserve an advocate who's going to fight for us and going to advocate for us, not just in the political system, but also in the healthcare system, which we must talk about, in the educational system, in the legal system. And so God has blessed me with this energy, and I don't want to waste it. I want to use it for the purpose of uplifting people.
I agree. You started your political career in 2012, right?
Yes.
So now that you are running for Congress, what made you decide to do that?
The American dream is fading. We see that the average college graduate is only making $50,000. They can't buy a home like the home that my parents bought when they came here from Haiti. The average home here in Nassau County costs $700,000. My parents came here from Haiti. They've had 4 children. My brother's a judge. I'm a legislator. My sister's an assemblywoman. My other sister is a marketing executive. The American dream works for us. And I don't see it working for other people. So right now we see a nightmare instead of cauchemar. And we have to make sure left side, wherever American, you got my shit with Putin. And so that is why I'm running for this higher position. As a Congress member, I could do more. I've been able to do a lot as a county legislator. The entire time I was in the political minority. There are only 7 Democrats and there are 12 Republicans in Nassau County. The Republicans have more power in the legislature. And now in Nassau County also we have a Republican county executive. So, we want leaders who can relate to us, who know the same issues that we face every day. Getting jobs, getting better education, getting better health care. Right now in our community, every problem you see in America, it's worse in our community. Diabetes, heart disease, obesity, cholesterol. Why? Because we need more access to health resources. Many women in our community are nurses. I love nurses, and I love especially Haitian nurses. They take care of you. If you're in the hospital, we have a nurse, Haitian nurse, they're going to take care of you. But nurses now, they have their back against the wall. They're being asked to work more hours, they're not being paid, they don't receive benefits. And when she nurse, if I'm haitian, benefits. And so I want to help our nurses. Our nurses need help. But in addition, right now, because of the pandemic, there's a complete low number or a lack of nurses. and Nassau County is looking for nurses. And so I want to give you my government phone number, 516-571-6203, to help encourage more people from our community to become nurses. Also, 516-571-6203. We need more nurses. We need more teachers because of the pandemic. And so, your initial, I know I have veered off from your initial question, but these are important things that we must talk about. Because we need more access to health, we need more access to jobs. We had every week at the UBS Arena, every week we have a job fair. And so it's, we have to start to learn to receive information. You can't expect government to come to you and help you. You have to also make yourself available, keep your mind open to receive that information. So go to my county website, go to call the phone number, get involved. Because I know that once you know better, you do better.
That's exactly it. There were other candidates, right? I think it was about 7, and I think we're down to 5.
Now we're down to 4 candidates. And I'm the only minority candidate, black candidate in the race. And there are 2 other candidates that are non-minority. They haven't done nothing for our community. They're not elected official. One's elected official in a very Republican community. The other was fired, and now she wants to be promoted. It doesn't work like that. We should promote people who do their job, and they do their job consistently, and they do their job well. I've been reelected 5 times because I do my job, and I do it with passion because I really enjoy it. And so we should promote individuals who are successful, and that's why I'm asking you for your vote. The election is August 23rd, and also you could vote early between August 13th and August 21st. And let's just say you're going on vacation during August. You can get an absentee ballot, where we can come to your house, give you a form, you fill it out, and then you'll be able to vote right there. If you want an absentee ballot, please call 516.
Same number you just gave?
No, different number. That is the number of my government office. But the number for the campaign is 516-248-4730. Once again, 516-248-4730. Encore, 616, juste un tweet. 47 30.
Okay. La question va pour les premières créoles. Why should people vote for you? I feel that you should say that in Creole because mostly our Haitian brothers and sisters need to hear that.
Frères, sœurs, maintenant de vous pour support, s'il vous plaît. Même si on a ici qui fait le devoir, mais travaille dur. Mais lever à 6h du matin, mais dormir jusqu'à 11h. Est-ce que la gagne de faire, c'est aider nous? Nous qui ont problème, nous qui ont business, nous qui ont chez nous qui vraiment veulent de plus bonnes choses pour tête. Et ce moment de pour support nous, l'élection ça c'est le 23 août. Non, c'est Carrier Solage. C'est une vraie haïtienne, maman haïtienne, papa haïtien. Mais maman papa en pile. Même l'église, la caille et l'école, c'est vrai haïtien. L'église, la caille et l'école, c'est ça qu'on a vu. Et maintenant, le plus support vraiment parce que tant là, nous passons en pile disette dans le pays ça, et nous avons regardé qui ça a arrivé en Haïti. Si vous mettez moi pour ça, m'a aidé Ilsa, mais m'a vraiment aidé Haïti aussi. Parce que m'a jamais largué Haïti. Mais culture, c'est culture ça qui va me courage pour travailler dur. So vraiment, maintenant, pour support nous, l'homme c'est Carrier Solage, il y a un pile haïtien qui était dans la zone ça, Baldwin, Hampstead, Lakeview, Roosevelt, Uniondale, Elmont, Valley Stream, West Hampstead, mais que le Baldwin Harbor, il est belle caille, tout caillou c'est haïtien. Vraiment, mais il a payé un pile de taxes à la Chile, la fait tout fait.
Yes.
So me veux aider. There is a small tax deduction. Vous avez seulement retirer 10 000 sous taxe là avec Caillou. Mais vous avez fait un bagage que vous avez retiré 25 000. Mais quand vous pour payer un peu de taxes, mais vous pour payer, barrage ça à petit ou, aider petit ou, aider l'église ou, aider Haïti.
Okay. Est-ce que ce qu'on fait dit là, whatever you just said, is it the program that the Gospamag program?
Well, no, that's something different. So if you have a certain age, you can apply for a benefit called Star Tax Deduction. That's one thing. In addition, that's something else to reduce your taxes is a property tax grievance, where you're telling Nassau County, my house is not $500,000, it's really $450,000, and the county won't challenge you. They'll, in 80% of the cases, they will grant you that reduction. And you can call my government office if you need more information about that. 516-571-6203. But what I was referring to before is that Trump does not like New York State. So he said, okay, I'm going to make sure New York State, you could only deduct $10,000 from your property taxes as a write-off on your taxes. So if you're paying $15,000, you still now end up paying, in taxes, you could now only, pay for $5,000. But he put a cap on how much you could deduct. I want to raise that cap. Okay, I want you to be able to deduct even more than that, 25,000, 25 mil. Okay, because I know people here in Elmont, in Hempstead, their house is not big, but they're paying $25,000 in taxes.
Okay.
That's unfair.
So I'm sure that after this question, you're gonna go on commercial break. I'm sure that you're aware that many people are losing their homes. So, what kind of message you have for them?
There are federal funding available to help you keep your home. Just yesterday, the U.S. Treasury Department announced a program where extra money that the federal government gave to New York State can be used by the state for housing purposes. And so there are programs for you in which you can save your home. Losing your home should be the last resort. Many people in our community are facing foreclosure, and I have provided workshops and forums that teach them how to save their home. And there's information out there. Please call my government office. Not only I'm a county legislator, but there are also state programs. People have to understand how government works. Here in Nassau County, you have county government, you have village government, you have state government, you also have a town government. That can make someone really confused.
Yeah.
It's like going into the internet without a search engine, without Google. It's like going into a library without a flashlight. But if you reach out to your leader and you ask them for information, they are supposed to guide you. And that's what I have been doing for 10 years. And I would like to guide people to help themselves. So if you want more information about that, please call 516-571-6203.
Okay. Legislator, we're going to short commercial break, and we'll be right back with more questions for you.
Thank you very much.
Nous pouvons aller prendre un petit break, mais avant le break, reprendre pour nous que nous avons parlé avec le législateur Carrier Soulage. Il y a 10 ans, notre travail à faire, côté que lui aider communauté actuellement. Ok, so lui vient demander nous pour nous supporter dans l'élection qui va être faite en mai, le 21 août.
Yes.
21 août, si tu veux.
23.
Au 23. Pardon, 23 août.
Vous pouvez voter pour nous jusqu'à le 13, jusqu'à le 21.
Ok. So, nous souhaitons que nous comprenions et nous savons pour nous. Nous-mêmes haïtiens, nous savons pour nous. C'est pas nous liés, ok? Et nous connaissons que si nous parlons devant, il y a des opportunités que nous avons joindre et des informations que l'État a nous. Parce qu'il y a plus de nous qui va aller dans Internet, qui va faire recherche, ou bien qui va Google, pour connaître qui peut faire une campagne, qui ça a fait, et pour aider tête. Chicago, l'enlever ou prendre information, ou chercher pour information, c'est pour ça que vous pas avancer. Et la Gospamag a demandé nous de supporter le législateur Carrier Soulage qui a des candidats, alors pardon, ou candidat pour les congressmen dans Nassau County et moi c'est 4th district.
Oui.
4th district, 4th district. Ok, so n'a pas déplacé sous pour les femmes, nos amis, relais au premier, dire que ça que mes législateurs sur Gaston Macho, ils viennent parler avec nous. Ok, à tout de suite.
Ben, invité communauté haïtienne samedi 20 août 2022 dès 6h à 10h du soir dans Church of God 627 Remsen Avenue Brooklyn fundraising album release dinner avec André Joseph CIMS Band performance live. Invité spécial, l'image Pierre, Magali Joseph, Rossini Deronette, Jean-Roland Nicolas, Peterson Jean-Jacques, Fenel Saint-Jean. Théâtre et déclamation de poèmes avec Edson Dossou. Admission $65. Good food, drink et music inclus dans $65 ça. Vin supporter artiste communauté haïtienne André Joseph. Belle fundraising ça pour lui capable sortir nouveau album. Ça samedi 20 août dès 6h à 10h du soir. Church of God 627 Remsen Avenue dans Brooklyn. Fundraising album release dinner avec André Joseph CIMS Band performance live. Sponsor Venus Restaurant, Église Christ et Montberger, l'Évangile sans parti pris et Mamas Crémas. Infoline 917 341 0700.
Merci, m'a dit merci papa pour tout ça fait. Everybody, amen. Hey, pour moun sa yo qui te connaît on pas ta passé, pour moun sa yo que t'es déjà pensé au t'a échoué, pour moun sa yo que t'es déjà pensé au pas ta privé dit. Amen. 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 Bon Dieu fait le vrai, ça fait dit fait le net, pas gen moun kap ka camper encore. Qui te laisse on parler ou mec comme li carré fait encore. En bas tu fais mi en bon Dieu, a pour aimer pour li blanc. En bas j'ai sac pas fait yo bon Dieu gen pour faire voler piwo. Like a nigga. Bon Dieu a fait voler piwo. Like a nigga. Hey, Jean-Wem là, Jean-Wem yé là, c'est pas qu'on s'amdeye. Moi la game nan déflammé, bon Dieu pour lui femme j'en livre. Même sans aqua David, moi obligé passer maxi pam. But I'm a young king, I'm a wait until mon Dieu femme j'en livre. Yeah, comme même les côtés vle, yeah. Ou pas qu'on côté vle, yeah. Ou pas sans prier avec comment faire qu'on est qui ça mande bon Dieu, yeah. Moi si je venir à côté les hommes, ça me gagne le cœur, moi. Parce que les hommes qui croient qu'il y a dans yo des natis. Si ou pas mentir, ou m'a demandé frère qui boit côté mieux. Ou arriver qu'on est qui raison de faire chagrin yon mort. Nous pas prendre la mort, mais nous connaissons difficile là à tomber quand même. Pour moun sa yo qui te connaît on pas ta passé, pour moun sa yo que t'es déjà pensé au t'a échoué, pour moun sa yo que t'es déjà pensé au pas ta privé dit. Amen. 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 Bon Dieu fait le vrai, ça fait dit fait le net, pas gen moun kap ka camper encore. Qui te laisse on parler ou mec comme li carré fait encore. En bas tu fais mi en bon Dieu, a pour aimer pour li blanc. En bas j'ai sac pas fait yo bon Dieu gen pour faire voler piwo. Like a nigga. Mon Dieu a fait voler piwo. Like a nigga. Mon Dieu gen pour faire voler piwo. Like a nigga. Mon Dieu a fait voler piwo. Like a nigga. C'est pour mon Dieu faire moi voler piwo. Pour faire passer piwo. Côté yo pas kawe. C'est pour mon Dieu faire moi voler piwo. Côté yo pas penser. Côté yo pas privé.
Medical issues, religion, and what else? Sports. Okay, I know many of you like sports. So one of these days we will come back with a show about sports. And let me remind you, we are speaking with the legislator, Tawiye Solages. And again, we are happy to have him on the platform. Before the commercial break, we were talking about something, and I would like you to elaborate a little bit more on that controversial rules and weight. So can you elaborate for us?
Thank you. Recently, the United States Supreme Court ruled that there is no, that they overruled the Roe v. Wade decision that granted women for over 50 years the right to make a personal decision with their doctor as to their health care needs as it relates to reproductive rights. The Supreme Court said that basically that is not a constitutional right, it cannot be guaranteed, and that we're not going to protect it now from the federal government, we're going to leave it up to the states. The next day, over 26 states ruled that, made laws saying that it is illegal to have an abortion. And whether you are for abortion or you're not for abortion, I think that the decision for a woman to make for her own health should be a decision between her and her doctor and her family. And it should not be determined by an old white man. And unfortunately, the old white men in the Supreme Court ruled that women can no longer make that decision for themselves. And that's a very big problem, because many of the same facilities that provide abortion services also provide healthcare services for many Black and Latina women. And so now now they've been shut down. So this now creates a situation where women are in danger, where they will be forced to have a pregnancy, and the Black child mortality rate in the Black community is very high. Many Black women die during a pregnancy, or their child dies during the pregnancy. This is a very dangerous decision by the Supreme Court. And I want everyone to understand that there are three branches of government. There's the judicial branch, Supreme Court, executive branch, the president, and the legislative branch, Congress, the position I'm running for. And if any of these branches does something that is illegal, it is responsibility of the other branches to keep them in check. So for example, when the Supreme Court ruled that segregation was lawful under Plessy versus Ferguson, it took many years later for the executive branch, that is Abraham Lincoln, to at least integrate the military. So that was an example of the executive branch putting the judicial branch in check. So as your Congress member, I'm going to do things to allow women to have that choice between themselves and their doctor, and I'm going to, the legislative branch is going to keep the judicial branch in check by codifying Roe v. Wade. What that means is that we're going to make a federal law that a person has a right to seek such services. This is something that's very important. This is affecting the healthcare needs of many women. Many women are upset that these corrupt, powerful men took away that power and that decision that they had for the last 50 years. Roe v. Wade was decided 50 years ago. And since then, many other protections were afforded to women. So this is a very important issue, and that's why many women and everyone, especially men should care too. You know, if it affects the healthcare of women, men should care as well. And I'm asking everyone to know that your vote matters. Don't think your vote doesn't matter. We need your vote now, especially when people are trying to take away our rights. Also, the Supreme Court said that the 14th Amendment cannot be used to justify such rights. That's very concerning, because now, under the 14th Amendment, we have other rights that were given to us, such as the right to marry anyone you may want, if you're gay, the right to marry someone interracial. These are all the rights that we were granted through the 14th Amendment. Now we see the Supreme Court taking that away. That's very concerning. But I just want to say, I like to brag about my accomplishments. I have many other accomplishments. Every time when Trump tried to take away TPS for Haitians and El Salvadorians, I advocated to make sure that TPS was extended. Now, as a congressperson, I want to fix our broken immigration system. This is very important, okay? Ça m'a dit là qui est vraiment important. M'a réglé pour l'immigration que nous gagnons pour nous. Nous avons un pile haïtien qui pas gagné papier. Ils n'ont pas gagné pour nous parce qu'ils n'ont pas gagné papier, ils n'ont pas gagné job, ils n'ont pas gagné car, ils n'ont pas gagné rien. Oui, okay? And by the way, as a county legislator, I've advocated for, I'm the only elected official, and I'm glad I won this, I'm the only elected official that fought for driver's licenses for people who are not citizens. So if you know someone who is not a citizen, but they have a driver's license, I helped to make that happen. I also helped to raise the New York State minimum wage to $15. Before it was $7. I'm very proud of my accomplishments. And I want people to know that I'm going to make sure that we can have increasing wages. Target, many people know me, Ashley Allen, Target, Target admitted that they could pay their employees $25, but they're not going to. They made in one quarter $3 billion. You know what that is? They made $3 billion, and they said that they're only paying their employees $15, and that really, if they wanted to, they would pay them $25. We need our corporate. We need to have a restructuring of our tax code where the rich are paying a fair share because people are living under the poverty level. Do you know that in Nassau County, if you're not making $125,000, you're living under the poverty level? But you cannot even get benefits because the rules say that you have to make over 90,000 to get benefits. That's wrong. We have to change these federal formulas that determine who gets benefits and who don't. And you do that by electing people who are fighters, who are advocates, who have a proven track record of getting things done, and who have that vision. I have that vision. That's why I'm asking for your support. C'est pour raison ça que m'a demandé votre support parce que m'a travail pour vous. C'est vous-même qui mettez dans la position ça. C'est pour m'a travail pour nous-mêmes. So, s'il vous plaît, votez pour Carrier sur l'âge le 23 août, ou votez bonheur le 13 jusqu'à le 21. S'il vous plaît, merci.
Les humains, les moments la campagne. Ils sont sensibles pour moment la campagne. Ils sont sensibles pour côté sorti. Et moi, ça nous même que tellement les moments la campagne et le pays autour, so ça bon désir, le désir pour aider dans n'importe façon pour aider surtout pour la communauté canoise. Et dans le pays nous avons vu qu'à souffrir dans la communauté haïtienne. Il y a un petit comme le baillon, il peut pas payer avec lui, il ne peut pas faire ma tête, il ne peut pas faire rien avec lui. Allez, ouais, si tu avais acheté un caille, ou acheté un caille. So you have to be qualified, your salary has to be a high salary in order for you to buy a home. And I appreciate that in you, let me tell you that now. I appreciate that in you to see the amount of work that you put in the community. I mean, I follow you, and that's who I am. Whenever I'm having an interview with someone, I have to make sure that I know who you are, what you do, the type of work that you have done. And this is why it was so sad for me when I read about the New Amsterdam Club and that excluded you to speak at the candidate night. And I remember that I saw a comment and I said, you push it. So what happened?
So the New Hampstead Democratic Club in the village of Hampstead, which is a black community in the village of Hampstead, had a candidates night for this election. And they only invited the white candidates. And I said, that's strange, so I called and I said, can I please come? And they said, no, you cannot come and you cannot speak. I showed up anyway. And I won the debate. I think based on what people said, I won the debate. And I'm very happy that people put a lot of pressure on the Democratic Club to do the right thing. You see that even people think that the Republicans are only corrupt. Well, in any institution you find corruption. How dare people talk about Haiti? Tout le monde dit, oh, regardez toute corruption ça dans Haïti. Mais il y a ça là aussi. Et même malgré là aussi. And so they tried to block me from coming to speak. And I think that was a big disservice to the people who live in the village of Hampstead. They deserve to see and to hear from all of the candidates. Yes. They deserve to hear my plan to reduce property taxes. They deserve to hear my plan to increase public safety and make our communities safer. They deserve to hear how I want to make sure that 18-year-olds cannot buy guns. I want to make sure that there's a ban on all assault weapons. They deserve to hear my plan. They deserve to hear my plan to fix the immigration system. I want people who have TPS to become citizens. I want the people who are arriving right now from Haiti at our borders in Texas to get medical treatment, to get care, and to get on the line. And if they can show that they are paying taxes and that they are living a productive life, then they too, like my parents, can become citizens.
Yeah. I wonder, when they stop you, they didn't stop you because you're strong enough. When they tried to stop you, did they tell you the reason why you can stay?
He did not tell, there's no reason to justify it. He just said you can't come. And then I asked him, well, can I speak with your board members, the other members of your organization? He said, no, you can't speak with them. And then I found out later that he's endorsing one of my opponents. So it's corruption, unfortunately. You find that in every political party, and it shouldn't be happening in our party. How can we criticize the Republicans for being corrupt when we're not living to the same standard? As Michelle Obama said, when they go low, we must go high.
That's right. I love that. I love it. Now, I don't know if it's personal, but I think what are you married?
I'm very close. I have a loving relationship with a very beautiful Jamaican lady, and we have a child together. And I've learned not to put my personal business out there. There's sometimes people who are jealous and they want to, destroy you, and so they can attack your public record, so they're going to attack your personal record. And so I try to keep my personal life private, but I'm very happy. That's what matters, and I love Jamaican food and Haitian food.
I think Haitian food is the best.
Yes, the best.
Okay, so I think let me see what time is it. We have a little bit time, not too much, 4 minutes. So I know you have to go to. You're a busy person. I'm not going to keep you long. And is there a last word you would like to say to the Haitian community?
Yeah, I want to say to the Haitian community that vous connaissez que les vraiment occupés avec un peu de travail que m'a fait pour la communauté là, mais vous connaissez que si il y a un problème, m'a fait tout ce que possible pour aider ou pour régler le problème là. Mais pas dire que m'a réglé le problème là, m'a fait tout ça que m'a fait pour régler le problème là. Mais pas mon Dieu, but I am a servant of God. And as long as you work with me and communicate with me, and you don't, let me, I'm always going to be here for you. And this position, I'm not leaving you. You're just giving me the power to really solve these problems, because the problems that we have are very systemic. They're deep, and so we have to unroot these problems and work together. Il y a une pourquoi ici qui dit que le cabinet de Charles-là, le cabinet de Paris-Met, a noué le Charles-là. And so, that means that we have to own each other. We have to take responsibility for each other. So if something happens to one of us, it affects all of us. So we have to stick together as one, under one leader. And so I'm asking us to put our heads together, just like the motto on our flag. If you really care about Haiti, if you really are Haitian, you're going to do the right thing and support one of your own this August 23rd in Nassau County, Zone La, St. Baldwin, Uniondale, Hempstead, Lakeview, West Hempstead, Elmont, Valley Stream, Nassau County. Let's do the right thing. Elmont, please come out to vote August 13th to August 21st, early voting, and August 23rd, election day. And if you have any questions, you may reach out to my office, 516-248-4730. Encore, 716-248-4730. Merci vraiment pour ça. M'a là pour vous, et vraiment pire, merci.
Ok, pour m'arriver, pour nous dire au revoir, mais m'a juste fait un petit repasser sur certaines choses. Et nous connaissons que l'élection c'est le 23 août. So, nous demandons pour nous sortir un grand nombre à supporter les législateurs comme des soulages. Et nous avons un pile de bagaille que nous disons, ok, nous promettons nous, mais même les faire une promesse, ou bien doit pas faire bagaille vite, il ne faut pas trop presser, il faut nous avoir patience dans tout ça que nous avons fait. Pour arriver, il faut avoir patience. Et numéro de téléphone office c'est 516 248 47 30. Nous connaissons ces sommeurs, en faisant nous à petit vacances, nous parlons croisière, nous parlons notre pays, mais pas pour y aller comme ça sans nous pas bloquer. So, nous avons le numéro 516 248 47 30 pour nous chercher absenter ballot, pour nous filer, remplir et puis quitter et puis qu'on y a nous droit aller en vacances pour techniquement à puis en repos. Parce que soit en vacances, pas de côté pour les législateurs quand il y a solage, donc on y a un problème et nous connaissons l'importance voter, c'est très important. C'est nous-mêmes qui pouvons choisir le monde, nous voulons mettre dans l'office qui peut régler poser nous. Alors, by législateur Carrie Stolages, une chance pour Congrès même. Et nous connaissons que nous avons tout travaillé pendant 10 ans, ok? Et nous connaissons ça qu'à faire. Nous connaissons les parler, il va parler de là, il agit. And what I like the most about him is a strong person and he fights for what he believes that is true and he fights for our rights. So, pas négliger, voter pour législateur Carrie Stolages pour congressman. Et nous souhaitons qu'après l'élection 23 août, nous allons pas célébrer congressman Carrie Stolages. Mr. Stolages, legislator Stolages, and it was a pleasure for me again to have you on the show. And thank you for responding to me when I inquired that you come on the show.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
C'est tout ça que nous devons faire pour aujourd'hui, ok? Et jusqu'à ce que nous rencontrions samedi prochain, c'était Norma Blanche pour That's the Norma Show.
Activez puissance ou activez puissance ou activez puissance ou non moins. Activez puissance ou activez puissance ou activez puissance ou non moins. C'est pour différer, désoler ma prière. C'est pour démons courir, c'est pour malade guérir les mêmes. C'est pour différer, désoler ma prière. Yeah, yeah.
That's Norma's TV show. With Norma Branch, where facts of life are exposed. Debates include politics, education, mental health, religion, and social. That's Norma's TV show.
André Joseph Ministries, CMS Band, invité communauté haïtienne samedi 20 août 2022 dès 6h à 10h du soir dans Church of God, 627 Remsen Avenue, Brooklyn. Fundraising album release dinner avec André Joseph, CMS Band, performance live. Invité spécial, l'image Pierre, Magali Joseph, Rossini Deronette, Jean-Roland Nicolas, Peterson Jean-Jacques, Fenel Saint-Jean. Théâtre et déclamation de poèmes avec Edson Dossou. Admission $65. Good food, drink et music inclus dans $65 ça. Vin supporter artiste communauté haïtienne André Joseph. Belle fundraising ça pour lui capable sortir nouveau album. Ça samedi 20 août dès 6h à 10h du soir, Church of God, 627 Remsen Avenue, dans Brooklyn. Fundraising album release dinner avec André Joseph, CIMS Band, performance live. Sponsor, Venus Restaurant, Église Christ et Montberger, l'Évangile sans parti pris et Mama's Cremas. Infoline 917 341 0700.
Merci, ma vie, merci papa pour tout ça fait.
That's Norma's TV show. With Norma Branch, where facts of life are exposed. Debates include politics, education, mental health, religion, and social. That's Norma's TV show.